So for those of you who caught the interview last night between, you call it whatever you want, between Jordan Chariton of Status Quo News and Keaton and Russell of Dissidence, my take on that conversation is very simple. Even though I think the conversation went off the rails at times, I think the importance of the audiences blending together and talking about the issues that really matter is what is going to allow some semblance of a left populist rising in digital media. It's not going to rival right populist media by any stretch right now. All you have to do is look at a show like Tim Pool or a show like Michael Knowles or even a show like Steven Crowder and understand just how far behind people on the left populist side of the fight really are. I will say this. I think that there were good points that were made by Jordan. I think there were good points that were made by Keaton and Russell. But ultimately, Jordan was given the opportunity in front of an audience of about 1,000 people. And my guess is that when it's all said and done, you'll have in excess of approximately, probably 4,000 or 5,000, maybe more people that will ultimately tune in and get at least a piece of what that live stream is all about. And I hope that the clips that need to be cut will be cut. Jordan is covering one of the most important stories in the country right now that not a lot of people are talking about. For months, we were so focused on East Palestine and the fact that made news in many ways, not just because of the devastation of the train derailment and the chemicals associated with the train cars covered by Norfolk Southern, was the fact that it was done in an area that was extremely, Trump red, and corporate media seized on that opportunity to say, this is what you get for voting for Donald Trump.
Oh.
Whereas in Kalamazoo, Michigan, with this paper mill, and Kalamazoo is one of the most blue areas in all of Michigan. Outside of Detroit and Flint, it's probably the most blue area in the whole state. And this area has been devastated for a decade. This is a story that has been completely swept under the rug. And the Democratic politicians, but let's be honest, it's both parties protecting each other. That, to me, is a huge part of the problem here. And that's a story which is no different in terms of the environmental contamination that's going on in East Palestine. It doesn't matter if it's red or blue. Corporate special interests will screw working people wherever they live. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just happy to see the Jordan stream numbers went up. So anything that helps benefit him, I'm happy about. All of it is kind of nonsensical to me. I don't really like to watch that stuff. I don't like to watch, and I don't like to even be a content creator talking about content creators. What I will say is that Jordan is an actual journalist. And so his information is very, very relevant. And, the more people that he can share that information with, even if they happen to be people like doorknobs or whatever, all the power to him for getting that information out there. It's really a travesty that those people that are asking him to come on, it's really more about stupid leftist infighting than they're really interested with getting his information out there. That's what I think.
Well, kudos to Jordan for making sure that he was able to get that information in there, because that was the most important part of the night. Now, I don't know how many people are going to watch that and get Jordan's message about what he was able to do. And, you and I have talked at length. There's a lot of people in the left movement that do not care for Crystal Ball or even Kyle Kulinski. And you know what? That's fine. And there are people who don't necessarily like the direction they've taken in terms of how they've covered Marianne Williamson's presidential campaign. What's most important to me regarding Crystal in particular is that she uses her platform to cover these stories that Jordan is covering. To hundreds of thousands of people, this story will go. But what you're not seeing is these other channels that could be covering this and really drawing attention to these problems. If we had a cohesive populist left movement, there's no telling what we could accomplish. Now, I'm not saying we're going to put some populist left person into the White House, but I think we could cause we could stir up a lot of a lot of positive change relatively quickly, especially at the local level.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, I can't stand coming on here and talking about other content creators. It's like nothing is less appealing to me. Maybe a root canal. Like I am just not interested in what other people are doing on their channels. You know what I mean?
agree. And it would be one thing to care about what they were doing on their channels if what they were covering were stories like the stories that Jordan has been covering. If the premise of what you are trying to do is to bring attention to that particular story, then I would say that that's a big deal. Now, where Keaton and Russell really tried to hammer Jordan is the fact that he went on the Vanguard, and because they openly admit that they are a gossip channel. Again, to me, that's not what's relevant here. What's relevant is if he goes on there and there's, let's say, 300 to 400 live stream viewers at one time that are going to catch him on there, and he has the opportunity to talk about what's going on in Kalamazoo, then he's done his job, because then they're going to talk about it, and then that's going to become a central focus. It's not like he's calling up, MSNBC, CNN, or even Fox News, and they're going to go and cover the story. Why would they? This will make Governor Whitmer look really bad, and she fully intends to run for president in 2028. From our understanding, Governor Whitmer is actually who Joe Biden wanted on his ticket instead of Kamala Harris in 2020. Now, again, all of it is in hindsight at this point because the Biden-Harris ticket ultimately ended up winning in 2020. But as you and I have said at length, it wasn't a question of them winning. It was a question of Trump losing.
Oh, yeah. They won't win. He can't win again. He can't win again. All of this discussion about it's so interesting. I feel like I kind of want to hit fast forward because he can't win again. It's not going to happen, people.
And so I really wonder how much longer these top elected officials are going to be able to get away with this.
I got to grab a cord.
Sure. You look around and you see how Governor Snyder was able to get away with what he was able to get away with in Flint, and nothing was done about it. Now you see just how it's all about the system. Everyone wants to point the finger directly at the GOP and say that they're the ones who are the problem. And that's not to say that they're not a problem. They are not the problem. The problem is corporate special interests have captured our government at the highest level.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.